So hello again, hoping that this time this video will be much shorter. I wanted to show whether it makes any difference if you change the thermal compound on the processor after usage for several years. I have this PC for more than 5 years. It's an Intel i5 2400 model with 3.4 GHz clock speed. It is still is able to run smoothly latest games and handle with these common everyday tasks. It uses stock Intel cooler, and during these years it did not have any overheating issues. Also, I tried to clean off dust from internal components at least once in 2 months, but the other day I thought of changing also the thermal compound, partly because of the age of this cooler, which originally came with factory applied thermal compound, and partly, although it didn't have any heat issues, maybe it would improve thermal performance of the processor. I will be using Cooler Master high performance thermal compound, so let's see whether this hassle is worth it. And as maybe caution to everybody, before doing anything near your PC components, do not forget to discharge yourself of any static electricity, well, at least by touching metal parts of your PC case when it's still connected, and if it's properly grounded. So let's take the cooler off and see how the thermal paste looks after more than 5 years.
Highway lies when you drive another survivor, you kiss like somebody else. Out here there's no motivation. Just highway lies when you drive another survivor, you kiss like somebody else.
So I have inspected a little bit the leftovers of the old thermal paste, and to the touch it looks quite dry, and the layer is very thin. Also, the same is true for the paste that is left over on the processor itself. So let's clean it off and let's apply the new thermal compound. So as you saw, I disconnected the CPU from the socket. I thought that it would be easier just to clean off this old thermal paste and not to leave the old bits on the board itself. Also, I did a little bit inspection on the other side and discovered that these connections have also some traces of dust on it, so these should be also cleaned. So let's do it.
Like somebody else. Out here there's no more
cleaned the processor, I was using just plain, let's say, paper, toilet paper. I don't think that it is the best choice for cleaning, but I didn't have anything else right now available to me, so I was just trying to be careful, and that's all. Trying not to leave any bits of thermal paste on the side of the processor. So just now let's install it back. So I installed the processor back. I hope I did it correctly and did not bend any connection points. We will see it later. So now it's time to unpack the new thermal paste, see what's inside. So let's do it. So this is interesting. I did not have such a thermal paste before, but it seems that in the package you also get a templates. So these will help you to apply a thin layer of the thermal paste on your processor. This is just I think really great idea. But I won't be using this. I will just apply some small amount of thermal compound on the processor, and then I will just install back the cooler, so the pressure of the cooler will just squeeze a thin layer of the paste. So after some struggle, I managed to install back the cooler. As a tip, maybe if you are doing this first time, take a picture of how it looks before taking off the cooler, and it would help you to install back the cooler. Also, when you place the cooler back on these holding points, make sure that all these holding points do click, so you will ensure that this cooler is holding strongly on the motherboard. Okay, as cooler is back on its sitting place, let's assemble back the case, connect everything, and check whether it improved somehow our temperature readings or not, or even made it worse. I run immediately some tests and also let the thermal paste cure for a week, and then again run several tests to load and heat up the processor. I noticed that possibly idle temperature is lowered by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, but low temperatures were higher by up to 5 degrees, depending on the outside temperatures. I have to mention that fan of the processor runs in variable speed depending on the load of CPU. So what are the conclusions? High temperatures possibly could be explained by properties of the paste, or possibly that I incorrectly applied the paste, or even that I should let the paste cure for a longer time. So should you change the thermal paste after years of usage? If you don't experience overheating issues, I think it is not that worth it, especially if you regularly clean your PC. But in this case I would say that it wasn't completely useless, because I was surprised by the dust which had accumulated under the processor. This potentially could be dangerous, as this could lead to even short circuit. In the end, it depends on your environment, but it could be healthy for your PC if you remove and clean the CPU and other components once in 2 or more years.